Driving Empire just teased 2 new Lamborghinis, but before I show you, make sure to subscribe and drop a like in this video. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, Driving Empire's been doing a great job of getting Lamborghinis licensed. They already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Lamborghinis licensed so far, but they have 2 more rolling out this Friday. They've done a great job, and I expect honestly to see almost all the Lamborghinis end up licensed over time, just like what happened with Pagani in-game. If we look, we got almost all the Paganis licensed, and same with McLaren. They did an insane job with McLaren. If you look, we really have so many McLaren models in the game, but let's go ahead, take a little look here and see what these 2 Lamborghinis are. So in the Driving Empire Discord, you can see there's one event currently scheduled. It's for Friday, September 19th at 1:15 p.m. 2 new cars from a legendary brand you already love. 2 more cars coming next Friday. Now, you know, a legendary brand you already love sounds like Lamborghini, but what really confirms it is this photo right here. It's kind of hard to see what it looks like, so let's actually go open it in a bigger thing on Google. So if we go to the Driving Empire game page, you can see here, we can find the image, and we can actually make it much bigger by opening it in a new tab. So there we go. Look at this. Now that just looks like Lamborghini rear ends right there, and I know exactly what they are. If we look, just look at that spoiler, very iconic. Look at that other spoiler, very iconic. I see 2 SV Lambos, but what are they? Well, we got the Diablo SV. Look at that curvature on that spoiler. We can even zoom in a little bit. See all that curvature there? Look at all that curvature on the spoiler. We can obviously see that. And then a Murcielago SV. It's even at like the top view angle, you can really see that spoiler. You know, like the nice uprights and then the way it sits. We look over here, nice uprights, the way it sits. It's really obvious that what we got coming this week. I'm not gonna lie, these 2 I am so excited for. I cannot wait. We have more Lambos coming, and they are both SVs. And if you want more details, look here on the Diablo. You can see here this air intake. We look here, you can see those air intakes. Pretty nice. But you know, I know we're only getting 2 this week, but since it seems like a trend for Driving Empire to keep adding Lamborghinis, I thought I'd give my input on some of the ones I really want in the game, so let's go over those as well. Obviously, you know, we're getting some SVs, the Diablo and the Murcielago. I know we already have the SVJ in game, but come on, give us the Aventador SV. This was like my childhood dream car, the SV. Like, I have a photo of little me, you know, standing in front of an Aventador SV. It was like lime green, and I had like the coolest shirt on ever. But anyways, back to the point here. We need this Aventador SV. I know you guys watching might be a little bit younger than me, but growing up, this was the poster car for me, the Aventador. And the SV variant, when it came out, I was in love. Like, this was my favorite, so it would be huge if they could add the Aventador SV. Now, I noticed they haven't added any Lamborghini Roadsters, so we definitely need the Aventador Roadster as well, because why not? Who doesn't want an open-top Lambo, you know? Who could complain about getting another Lambo? So, you know, maybe in the next update we could see, or not in the next update, but like in a future update, with next time they add Lambos, an Aventador SV, an Aventador Roadster as well, and then also the normal versions of the Murcielago. Honestly, yeah, I just like, I think we should get those, even though we already have the SV coming. You know, the normal versions are cool, and like I said, you know, we want the Roadster as well, so let's get the normal Murcielago and the normal Murcielago Roadster. That would be quite nice. And then also, you know, a Diablo. If we're talking about other Diablo models, we could get the Diablo GTR. Would be a crazy collection car for them to add for Lamborghinis. So, you know, if they could add this, I think it would really fit in with all the other collection cars, as most of them are race cars as well. And who doesn't want a Diablo GTR? It's got like a huge wing, some beautiful 5-piece wheels. I meant 5-spoke, my bad guys. And a giant roof scoop. It looks amazing. Then, you know, also the Huracan models, we only have the STO, so it would be nice, like I said, you know, to get a Roadster, obviously, you know, just the normal Evo Roadster and the normal Evo. You know, simple Lambos, they could just add as filler content. And a Huracan Storado as well really would be nice. I would love the Storado. And Performante, growing up, this was like the Huracan I really, you know, liked. Obviously, I loved the Aventador SV more, but the Huracan Performante was also a really cool one at the time, so, you know, I would love the Performante to be added in an update. And if they're adding classic Lambos, how could they forget about a Countach? I think, you know, we need the classic Countach. We have the new Countach, but the classic one, 50th with the big wing, would be lovely, okay? It would be quite nice if we could get the classic Countach. Now, if they're adding another Lamborghini update, let me just go over some things I would really like them to change about the current Lambos, or I guess not change, but like add on. So, the Aventador SVJ here, right? It is amazing. I love it, but I would love if I could change the J color. In real life, you know, you could change that obviously with specking, but in game, if I go to customize, unfortunately, I don't have the ability to change that anywhere. So it would be really nice if I could change that J sticker on the SVJ. Another thing that would be nice is on the Phenomeno Special Edition, if we had the optional wheels. You know, if we look here in customization, you're gonna see that there's no wheel option. You can't change the wheels, and that bugs me because let's say I want to do a spec other than this beautiful red spec. Let's say I want pink. The red center cap will always stay red on here, which it's a little frustrating considering I know it's possible for them to have changeable wheels, because if we look at the other Phenomeno, you can see here, we actually have the option to change the wheels. We have many wheel options, including purple wheels, which is crazy. So, you know, please, on the Phenomeno Special Edition, make it so I can change the wheel types. That would be very lovely, you know, just so I could get that perfect spec where everything matches and ties together. That would be really nice. And honestly, it'd be super cool if they even made it so you could change the red color to be like any color that the paint is. That would also be really, really cool. Another thing that would be quite nice is on the STO, if you could actually remove the black roof option. It looks really good, don't get me wrong, but in real life, there's a lot of STOs that don't have that, and if you want to make a real life spec, sometimes it could be challenging to make it exact if you don't have the correct roof options. So, you know, being able to remove that blacked out roof on the STO could be a nice customization option as well that they could add for us. Another thing, to be honest, is pretty simple. It's more caliper colors. If we look here, I have my Veneno here in this beautiful blue spec, but if I go to calipers, we're very limited. We don't have as many colors here. So, you know, this blue, it's close, but it's not exact. And, you know, sometimes you want to get that exact color, and it's very hard to do here because you're limited. So if they can make it so, you know, you could paint your calipers every color that you have for your paint, that would be really, really nice as well. Another thing that could be really nice is the ability to customize the color on your Lamborghini Temerario GT3 car, because I get it, you know, they have this Italian themed livery, and it's cool, but considering this car costs Robux, which is real money, I think, you know, some people might want to be able to change the color. So maybe if they could have an option, obviously, to have the livery still, or an option to just do a paint color where the livery is, you know, obviously maybe they would remove some of these details, but like where it's white, red, and green for the most part, they could just have a solid color option available. And I think players would be quite happy with that, you know, being able to customize the color on this car, because at the time being, everyone who has this car, it looks the same for everyone, which causes, honestly, not as many people to use it, because it's just such a basic, you know, spec that everyone has. It's not personalized, it's not customized. People don't feel as attached to this car because it's not designed to look like their own. So maybe if they, you know, were to go ahead and add that, that would just be quite nice. And the one final request I have for them to fix is the Lamborghini Revuelto interior color. If we go here to paint, if you want a spec other than like the default orange one or something that matches with orange, please make it so you can change the interior. The Revuelto interior is stuck in orange, and I don't know why. You know, they should really change that so you can actually customize the Revuelto interior to match with your paint schemes. Let's say I wanted to do a blue spec or a pink spec or something like that. I really wish I could change that interior, so that's kind of my final request. But yeah, let me know if I missed any, you know, bugs that they need to change with Lambos, or, you know, any special requests. Let me know in the comments below what you want to see them fix with them, and also let me know what other Lambos you want to see in the future. But I do think that is everything for today's video. I truly hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like. I would really appreciate it. Subscribe to the notification bell so you never miss another upload. Check out the video on screen here. YouTube thinks to like it, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.